Who was the biggest winner of the draft last night?
Let's start with the team that got guaranteed the best player last night. Jimmy Butler going to the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's an all-star. He's an all-NBA player. And he's going to a Minnesota Timberwolves team that have a stud in Karl-Anthony Towns and now an Andrew Wiggins who can sort of slide down to that three-hole where he seems like he's a better fit. Jimmy Butler is a fantastic basketball player. Who cares if people say he's got a lot of mileage on him? He's going to be 28 going into next season. I think this could be a playoff team next year. I'm not sure which of the Western Conference sort of bottom bracket playoff teams like OKC, the Grizz, or the Blaze fall out. That being said, they have so much talent, it'd be shocking for them not to make the postseason. Right. They got the best player guaranteed last night. And I think as a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, as an NBA fan, it's finally okay to feel comfortable being excited for this team, because we go in every single October, we think, oh, this is the year.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the year. Towns is going to do it this year. Now, Towns is young. Wiggins is young still. Do they line up with Jimmy Butler's sort of timeline trajectory? I think it's entirely fine because Karl-Anthony Towns is that good. And Andrew Wiggins is perfect for the three-hole. Now, this team, like LeBron says about the Cavs, is top-heavy as shh. They need a 4, 5, 6 guy. But, Rubio gets better because he's playing with better players. I'm very pumped to see this team play.
Did the Bulls get fleeced in this deal?
Yes.
Yeah, you're a Bulls fan. Go nuts.
100%. They've had a chance to trade Jimmy Butler last offseason. They had a chance at the trade deadline to do it. There have been a lot of Bulls fans calling for them to sort of rebuild. They finally did, and it seems like they rushed into things because not only did they give up Jimmy Butler, clearly the best player in the deal, they also gave up their number 16 pick. That didn't make any sense to me. You would think if you're building for the future, you would like to get a lot of picks, which was why it was even more strange that they then sold their second-round pick just for cash. When you're rebuilding, you need more guys. I don't know. They rushed into things. They got what the Bulls are trying to sell as 3 lottery picks, one of which is 23 years old, one of which is injured, and one of which we're not sure if he's actually going to be good in the NBA. I was not happy last night, but the good thing is that the Bulls finally have a direction. They're finally rebuilding. They might be one of the worst 3 teams in the league for the next couple of years, but at least they've got their draft picks. Yeah, that's the silver lining in all this.
Yeah, it must be pretty frustrating, though, for the Bulls because last year we know they brought in Wade and Rondo to sort of pair with Butler and thought, okay, maybe they're trying to make some sort of a push at Cleveland.
We all thought it was garbage at the time.
Well, yeah, but
and then they shocked everyone by hitting every 3 imaginable for the first couple of weeks. We looked stupid for a little bit, and then it turned out to what we all thought it was.
But now Jimmy Butler, the key player on that team, has gone to Minnesota, and he should instantly make them better. And even though the Wolves aren't going for a championship next season, you just want to see that improvement and the development of those younger guys with Towns and Wiggins around a veteran like Butler, who's been around Tom Thibodeau a lot of his career already, and see if those guys can start to put it together. Because you mentioned how we always look at the talent of the Wolves and think, okay, they can string it together, but they've always been missing something. Well, now they have that something that's been missing. So you expect to see dramatic improvement going into next season.
Do you think the Wolves will now, with Butler coming in there, obviously pairing it with, like you guys said, with Towns and Wiggins, will they stick with Rubio as their point guard, especially with Dunn being one of the pieces that got moved, number 5 pick last year? We thought at the time, well, maybe that means Rubio's gone. Maybe they're going to try and go with Dunn. Didn't work out. Do you think now that means, well, we'll go with Rubio here again, or is he sort of still on the block and in these trade rumors? What do you think?
I think it's definitely a possibility that he's still on the block. I think he won over Tibbs last year with the way he played hard. In the second half of the season, he shot the ball really well for Ricky Rubio. Right. I mean, he doesn't finish at the rim all that well, and that would be a nice little bonus. If you can't shoot the ball that well, can you finish at the rim?
Yeah.
But he's still in his prime. I know it seems like he's been in this league a long time, but he's not getting worse. I do believe he's going to get better. That being said, has he sort of worn out his welcome in Minnesota? Because seemingly he gets traded every single season. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him, and if they do go after a Derrick Rose to pair again with Tibbs and Jimmy Butler as a free agent.
I know Noah as well from New York, and they could rebuild that.
I know. Run it back.
But as long as Rubio is fine in that situation and is able to sort of go into year 7 now with the Minnesota Timberwolves mentally, because he feels like he has been traded. He said that, I thought I got traded before.
Right.
Is he okay doing that? Because I think he's only going to get better. He still has potential.
If you can hide his shooting a little bit with these other 3 guys who need shots.
He doesn't need to shoot.
Yeah.
You've got 3 guys that need to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, but they do need somebody that can hit an outside shot. And that's why, to me, the 2 locations they're going to try and upgrade are either going to be a point guard or maybe trying to find a stretch 4. They got to have somebody that can kind of spread the court, because Wiggins, Towns, and definitely Jimmy Butler, they like to live at the rim. So you need a little bit of space out there.
But Rubio, one of the better defenders at the point guard position, and obviously a playmaker, passes first, second, and third because he doesn't like to shoot and not the greatest shooter. But you're right, they do need to add some shooting